So guys, while patience and risk appetite can only be managed by yourself, the individual investors, yes, you, I'm here for the last bit, which is strategy. And that's exactly what we're going to be discussing today in the video. Merry Christmas, guys. You're watching Alpha Ambition. My name is Jasdeep. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Guys, this video is going to be super important. If you are bored of your 9 to 5 job, and literally if you have about $2,000 or at least 1 lakh rupees in savings, which you can invest, I'm going to tell you a super secret investment strategy, tried and tested. I've done it over the past years so many times over and over again, and it can definitely get you 10x to 20x, even more returns. And guess, guys, you will never have to work ever again. And I'm gonna give you this advice free of cost. Sounds simple, sounds lucrative, right? Let's begin. So guys, if you just loved what I just said and you're really interested in knowing what that 10x, 20x investment strategy is, then stop. Cause anybody who's claiming is gonna get you 10x, 20x, 50x returns without a legit proven methodology is a scam. Sorry to get your hopes high, guys, but there is no Baba Ji ki jadi booty जो आपको इतना return with so much of confidence दे दे. Investing is a long-term game and it is for patient people. So आप slowly you will progress towards prosperity and wealth creation. And there can be cases around where you have seen people becoming crypto millionaires, right? Becoming Dogecoin millionaires. But that is as good as winning a $10 million or a $50 million lottery. So you have to be, for most people, you have to be very structured. You have to be methodical. आपको strategy right use करनी है. You don't have to follow the herd. You have to think what is making sense and what is gonna make sense in the future for human life. And those are the industries, and the companies working in those industries are gonna make you money. Unfortunately, making money in stock market is not as simple and easy. Otherwise, कोई भी 2 घंटे की research में millionaire बन सकता था, right? People who claim that trading can make you millionaire, well, yes, but then the odds of that are very low. Most of the people like you and I are better off actually staying away from that. Yes, I mean, if you've made money in stock market, I would say do not touch your principal, जो आपने पैसा लगाया था, जो आपने profit बनाया है. If you want to play along with that, definitely go for it. Definitely go for, doing some highly risky investments that can, well, if you are at the right place at the right time and stars are aligned, you can become the next crypto millionaire or a stock market millionaire. And then, guess what? People will be coming interviewing you. How did you do that? But odds of that, guys, are very low. It's as good as winning a $50 million jackpot. So guys, to succeed in stock market or crypto or investing, there is only one mantra which has 3 pointers. One is patience, second is your risk appetite, and third is strategy, which is very important. And guys, sorry, but there is no 1-2-4 scheme happening here. While patience and risk appetite is something that only you can manage, because you know how risky you want to be when investing or trading or whatever you choose to do. There is only one thing which you have to be very methodical about, is strategy. Patience and risk appetite is something which is inbuilt. So हो सकता है मैं अपनी investments में बहुत risky रहता हूँ. Somebody may not like that much of risk. And similarly, somebody like कि मुझे dividend income आती रहे over the period of time, and at the same time I'm okay with like a 5% growth, 6% growth in my portfolio year and again. Some people want a ballistic 40% growth, but those people will also have to be ready for a ballistic loss as well to their portfolio, because guys, with risk comes the reward. So guys, in the last video, if you've not checked it out, please check it over here, maybe somewhere over here. Well, in the last video, we spoke about forward-looking investment strategy, and we explored 3 areas which are well positioned to make a lot of growth in the next coming years. So not just 1 year, not just 5 years, 10 years, basically beyond. So if you've not checked that video out, I would definitely recommend, basically building some ideas off of that video and using your own brain. So in this video, we're gonna build on the same concept on our last video. Guys, while I cannot assure you that you will never have to work again, as I said in the beginning of the video, so my apologies. And one thing I can definitely tell you guys, that if you follow along the strategy, you and your investment portfolio will be well positioned to take advantage of the massive growth a lot of companies are gonna see in the coming years. And you'll be like, Jasdeep, what's in it for me? Well, yes, if you are invested in those companies, either directly or indirectly, there are 2 income streams right away you get from it. One is the stock price growth, and second is the dividend. See, guys, these are 2 different income streams. So let's dive in right now. We're going to be talking about 5 areas which are well positioned to attract a lot of growth in the coming year. And of course, guys, you can do your own gut check on these areas. So area number 1 is going to be renewable tech. Area number 2 is going to be healthcare and pharma tech. Area number 3 is going to be Web 3.0 and the companies which are basically built around it. Area number 4 is going to be real estate. It's an evergreen asset class, guys. And area number 5 is consumer staples. So guys, let's dig deep into each of these 5 areas, and we're going to discuss the merits and demerits of each of these investments and asset classes, and also look at their past performance and the potential for future performance. And guys, before you could skip the video right here, I do have a bonus asset class which is super important, and it is almost equated to gold right now. And I must say that we should have a portion assigned to this asset class in our portfolio, because it'll provide you with that stability that your portfolio needs in the event of a crash. So stick around until the end of the video, because I'll be discussing that bonus asset class at the end of the video. So area number 1 is renewable tech. As you guys know, we are running out of fossil fuel. Of course, there is a 30, 40, 50 year timeline to the expiry of the fossil fuel. But of course, we as human beings are thinking about our future. You guys would have already seen कि governments around the world invest कर रही हैं renewable energy creation में. And of course, guys, अगर कोई भी technology अपने traditional form से एक नए form में change होती है, a lot of infrastructure and trade-off needs to happen, which means कि नई चीज़ें develop होंगी. And I'm just not talking about, building solar farms or the solar panels, but even उसके around बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी होंगी जो कि नई develop करनी पड़ेंगी. For example, to have your solar farm set up, there is a huge need of steel that basically goes into creating the frames जहाँ पे solar panel fit होता है. And similarly, in creating a windmill, which is again a source of energy in a lot of Nordic countries and even in Canada, it requires a lot of steel, requires a lot of copper, and also aluminium is also a very important metal. So guys, the point is that there will be so many companies which are from different sectors, parts of the industry, which will be coming together in building the renewable technology a possibility. So instead of going and searching for each of these companies separately and individually and then analyzing them, which is obviously going to take a lot of time, what you can do really is invest in an ETF. So guys, some ETFs which are in focus here are ICLN, QCLN and PBW. So area number 2, guys, is healthcare and pharma. Now obviously we saw what happened during COVID, and of course the variants are just keep coming and they're not stopping. Pandemics can happen much more frequently than what we've seen in the past, and obviously we understand it is just not restricted to COVID. There are other diseases, there are other disorders which also require drug production. For example, cancer, there are different kind of cancers, and a lot of companies are doing good work in terms of research. The idea is that there are multiple players. There are healthcare players, there are pharmaceutical players, and then there are बायोटेक्नोलॉजी प्लेयर्स. सो हर एक प्लेयर का रोल अलग है in dealing with these pandemics, in dealing with these diseases and disorders. So it is very difficult for us to go and analyze which company is creating drug for which disease, and coming up with an estimate with a great deal of certainty that this company will be successful in creating that drug. And guys, of course, if you see the stock performance of Pfizer, of Moderna over the last 1 year, these stocks have performed handsomely, of course, because of the fact that these companies came up with their vaccines which were used at a global level. But there is no certainty that आगे आने वाले टाइम में भी in those pandemics, Pfizer and Moderna are going to be the front runners in creating these vaccines. So although if you're very sure that Pfizer is going to do well, by all means go ahead and invest in Pfizer or Moderna. But if you're not certain, if you're not an expert in healthcare, in pharmaceuticals and biotechnology, I would suggest that invest in an ETF which invests in a broad range of these companies, and you will be highly diversified. Area number 3, guys, is Web 3.0, and I know I told you that I'll come up with a video on Metaverse and Web 3.0. I will be creating a video, a detailed video on Web 3.0 and Metaverse, where we'll be talking about what exactly is the deal with Web 3.0 and why everybody's getting so crazy about it. But in today's video, we're gonna keep it a bit surface level. And of course, this is one area which is considered a next evolution cycle of World Wide Web or Internet as we know it. For example, in telecom, we've seen that we had 2G, then came 3G, 3.5G, 4G, LTE, and now we have 5G. So similarly, Web 3.0 is an evolution of Internet as we know it right now, and Metaverse is one of the applications of Web 3.0. So Web 3.0 you can consider कि वो एक तरीके से backbone है और उसके ऊपर काफ़ी सारी और applications develop होंगी जो कि power करेंगी Metaverse जैसे concept को. One of the technologies which is important and crucial for the development of Web 3.0 is decentralization. And guys, by decentralization, we mean that it will be rigorously using the blockchain concept. It is not like, anybody can come up with like the entire metaverse or entire Web 3.0. Of course, it is decentralized, which means that अलग-अलग companies अलग-अलग aspects पे काम करेंगी. So guys, it's very difficult for us to pick one company. Of course, you can go with the usual suspects like Facebook, Google, Amazon, but we can also look at the companies which are innovation driven companies. And then of course, beyond that, there is Meta ETF, which we spoke about in the last video. So again, if you have not checked out that video, please check the link in the description box. So guys, to keep it very, very simple, in the world of blockchain, there are particularly two types of companies or tokens or currencies that you would see. One is a set of companies which are solving a specific application. For example, cryptocurrency, which is basically about doing the commerce and moving money from one point to the other. The second type of companies are the companies which are providing with the blockchain network for these companies to actually develop their applications. So Ethereum does exactly the same. And Ethereum is not the only blockchain network, guys, जिसके ऊपर नई applications develop हो सकती हैं. For example, cryptocurrency, for example, NFT related applications. There are other players like Ethereum as well. For example, Polkadot, Cardano. So guys, a reasonable strategy would be not to put entire sum of money which you want to invest in Web 3.0 in just ARK ETF or just Meta or just Ethereum. A good strategy will be to distribute this money into different pockets and then invest them. So guys, the three areas that we discussed so far are definitely high risk areas, and we can expect a higher return given the higher risk nature of these areas or asset classes. But the next two areas and the bonus area, which for which you have to stick around till the end, are the areas which are going to provide stability to your portfolio. So area number 4, guys, is real estate. Of course, who doesn't want to invest in real estate? But the barriers to entry are very high. So अगर आपको investment करनी है real estate में, you need to have a certain amount of money to even pay the down payment. And guys, beyond that, there are different kind of real estate investments. Of course, the usual one is home real estate. And then beyond that, there is commercial real estate, there is industrial real estate, and then there is public real estate. But guys, this is definitely one of the asset classes that we should have. Now, what do we do if we don't have enough money to go and buy real estate, residential real estate, or commercial real estate? So the alternative here is REITs or REITs. These are kind of ETFs which package different real estate investments into one bucket. But here we are no experts, we are not property agents, and we don't know which real estate is growing, but we know for sure that real estate is one asset class which always grows over the period of time. So guys, an option here, a low cost option here is Vanguard's ETF or REIT ETF, which is called VNQ, and we can see the performance of this REIT ETF over the period of last 5 and 10 years, and this is definitely one asset class that one should be investing in over the period of long term. So area number 5 and another kind of stable investment here is consumer staples. So what is consumer staples? Guys, consumer staples वो companies हैं जो कि हमारे everyday usage के goods बनाती हैं. For example, Unilever या P&G. And guys, what we've seen historically is that even during a financial crisis, consumer staple is one area which grows steadily. So of course, although people can cut down their discretionary spend, people do not usually cut down on their spend on toothpaste, on their tissue paper or toilet rolls or maybe washing powder. So guys, this is one area where companies actually grow at a steady pace. Of course, they will not grow crazily like 100% in a year, but they will give you a decent level of growth and with a decent dividend as well. So guys, if you have stuck around until the end of the video, well, congratulations. So now you have a solid strategy and knowledge of areas which are positioned to gain massively over the next couple of years. And if you start investing or start positioning your portfolio around these growth areas and also keeping your money in some of the stable assets, you should be seeing a lot of the greens and less of the reds in the coming months and years to come. So guys, the bonus asset class that I wanted to talk about today is Bitcoin and gold. So you will come across a lot of articles on internet which basically equate Bitcoin with gold. But guys, don't get too excited. Of course, in part it is true, but it is not entirely true because Bitcoin has not proved itself and is not recognized by all the governments in the world, while gold is one asset class which is recognized by almost every country on the earth as a store of value. Bitcoin is based on blockchain technology, where the whole purpose of the technology or the concept is to make it decentralized, to make it as transparent as possible. So there is definitely merit to the technology. And secondly, Bitcoin ki supply limited hai. So there can only be 21 million Bitcoins that can ever be mined. So we know guys कि अगर किसी चीज़ की सप्लाई लिमिटेड हो एंड वो recognized है और उसकी डिमांड है और it provides various merits like transparency and store of value, the price of that asset can only increase in future. That's logical, right? So it is possible that Bitcoin can in the future behave like gold, where Bitcoin can be considered a safe store of value because it being scarce, it being technologically more advanced, but at this point in time we cannot say for sure. However, in terms of investment strategy, you can keep some portion of your portfolio, maybe 10%, 20%, depending on your risk appetite. So if your risk appetite is low, you will have more percentage of your portfolio investing in gold and Bitcoin, and actually more so in gold than Bitcoin, but you can definitely spread your safe investment money in and across these two asset classes. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was informational for your knowledge perspective and also help you build the strategy and fine tune your portfolio for the future. Let me know in the comment section below if there is any specific area that you want me to deep dive, जिस पे आप चाहते हैं कि मैं और रिसर्च करके आपके साथ information share करूं, and I'll be sure to create a detailed video around it in the future. So guys, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the video and hope you have a great Christmas and New Year's. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.